Right, peace. This video is going to be about meditation because we've had a little. There's been some people who've asked some questions about meditation and have wanted to go deeper into meditation. And of course, it's one of my favorite subjects. So let's do it. That goes. Also, as with everything else, fact check everything. Fact check everything. Don't just go by what anyone else says or what I say or anything like that. Um, it's always best to do your own research. Always, always, always. So with that being said, let's jump right into it. I do have my list again, but also I know there's going to be a lot of jumping around. Um, it's not going to be very linear, but I think we can all handle that. It's gonna cover a lot of different aspects of meditation. Um, the physical effects of meditation, the emotional effects, mental effects, and we're gonna get deeper into the spiritual stuff. Um, so let's get started. Let's get started. Meditation. Okay. um, One of the most important things I can say about meditation is that it is important to customize it. We talked about customizing before on the breathing and the stretching, and we're gonna talk a little bit about the breathing as well too, because breathing obviously plays into meditation. But customizing it is very important because um, not only will it be better for you in your journey if it's customized to tailor fit you, but you no two people can go the same path, really. You're an individual consciousness. Therefore, your path to higher consciousness is going to be different than every other consciousness that's ever existed. So, not only shouldn't you go the path somebody else went, you cannot go the path somebody else went. So, all of these things are simply tools for you to use to build your own bridge across to higher consciousness, into your higher self, and to um, recognizing your divinity. Um, and just a personal feeling that I have is that, and some of the things that I constantly have to remind myself of is that we are divine beings. There is no doubt about that. We are divine beings, but not to say our we all they're just like we have a spiritual side and a divine side. We are here to have experiences. We are here to live. We are here in this physical creation to experience things and to be physical beings. So we're spiritual beings and we are physical beings. We just can't discount the physical and we just can't discount the spiritual. It must be balance. It must be balance, which is key. Which is key. So getting back to the customizing, customize everything. There are certain principles that you can follow, that we will discuss, but tailor make them to so that they work for you, and don't hesitate to try different things and go with your intuition about what you should be doing, because your intuition um, is very strong, and it's a part of you that that is a little more in tune with universal knowing. So if you know how to really cut out the interference and cut out the static, tap into your intuition, um, which is an ongoing process, um, never perfected, but it can get stronger. Just like with anything else, the more you do something, the better you get at it. The more you practice something, the better you get at it. And it's the same thing for spiritual work. The more you practice something in the spiritual work, the better you get at it. So the more you practice using your intuition, the better you will get at using your intuition, and the more on point your intuition will become, because it's like a muscle that you use. If you keep using it, it will get stronger. Um, so That's that customizing it. Very important. Also, meditation can be used for multiple purposes. Whatever you're trying to achieve in your life right now can be aided with meditation. Not only does it have multiple purposes, it has infinite purposes. And the reason it has infinite purposes is because the imagination is infinite. Um, so whatever you can imagine that you want to use meditation for is actually what you can use meditation for. And there are some common purposes for meditation, such as self-reflection, self-healing, uh, to um, self-reflect, self-reflect on different aspects of the self and how we are developing ourselves, our mind and our body and our souls together. Um, you can use meditation to relax. You can use meditation to um, anything, anything you can imagine. You can use meditation to do that. Just depending, and so you just use the different aspects of meditation, which brings to the next point, which is the way I like to think about it. Is that meditation exists in two phases. There is the projection phase, which is where you're actually sending thoughts out. But then there is the receptive phase, where you're actually receiving information or receiving energy. Um, and that is in line with the fact that you are also an electromagnetic organism. Electro is your shoot out. The electro, excuse me, the electric part of you is about emitting, and the magnetic part of you is about pulling things to you. The magnetic part is about uh, bringing things to you. So again, it depends on what you want to do with it. If you want to go within and you want to go deep inside yourself, if you want to analyze yourself, analyze your thoughts, analyze your feelings, or even just be quiet and tune out the static of your conscious mind and just listen to the universe, you can do that. You can do that as well, which has very good benefits. Um, so let's see what else to say about that. To receive or to transmit. To receive is, I mean, that was to receive. To transmit is a lot like prayer, which you would consider prayer in your organized religions. You're talking to the Creator. It's no different than when you meditate and you are meditating on. You can either meditate on the past and analyze what happened, so you can kind of see where things could have gone differently, or where you could have acted better, or had a better thought, or had a better feeling, how you could have executed something differently. You can think about the future and try to manifest things that you want to happen, which is one of the best things to do with meditation. One of the best uses of meditation is to tap into your imagination, tap into your third eye, and psychically project out into the universe what you want to happen. Um, People may think of that as like a magic trick or something of that nature, and you can think about it however you want to think about it, but the phenomenon itself is real and it exists. And that's just easily demonstrated by you right now. I right now. We are all the sum of our thoughts and our feelings. Everything that we've brought into our lives, um, every the our the where we're at right now in our each individual lives is a result of what we had up here and what we had in here. Um, it is manifesting. It does manifest. So um, that's also very key in the meditations, is to think forward positively. To think forward positively. The absolute worst use of mind power is to think negatively about the future. That is the worst. And we're all guilty of it, no doubt about it. But try your best when you see a thought going down that negative road, you got to cut it off. You got to cut it off and you got to project it in a positive direction. No good is going to come from thinking about the future negatively. You got to remain optimistic about the future. And then, even more importantly than that, you have to act in the now to create that future, right? So, all of these things are key, and um, that's an important part of meditation is the receiving and the transmitting. Let me see. Next, we're gonna keep jumping around a little bit. Oh, okay. So in meditation, it is important what you visualize. It is important what you visualize because that is the creative force. But the power comes from the feeling in meditation. So to demonstrate that in a couple of different ways, there's a scientific way to demonstrate that, and that is that the electromagnetic field emitted by the heart is much stronger. It's either 500 times, I think it's like 500 times stronger than the electromagnetic field that's released by the brain. So feeling reigns supreme. It is the feeling that is going to make stuff manifest. It is the intensity of your desire and your intent that is going to make stuff manifest. Your mind helps direct that, but this is what generates the power. And another way to demonstrate that is if you can tell yourself in your head, in your mind, I'm not afraid of snakes. I'm not afraid of snakes. But if a snake walks if a snake crawls in the room, if in your heart you're still afraid of snakes, then when the snake crawls in, regardless of what you're saying in your mind, I'm not afraid of snakes. I'm not afraid of snakes. When that snake crawls in, your heart determines what your reaction to that snake is going to be. If in your heart you're not afraid of snakes and you tell yourself I'm not afraid of snakes, when the snake walks in, you're going to be cool, calm, and collected, and you're going to do whatever you got to do. Leave the room most likely, depending on what it is. Don't be afraid of snakes, y'all. Stop. You know what? There's certain things that the mainstream media and the powers that be would love us to be afraid of: aliens, snakes, each other. Just about everything. Fear mongering is just gonna get you nowhere. But that doesn't mean go messing around with like poisonous snakes or whatever. Let me get back on topic. If you're in your heart, you are still afraid of snakes, regardless of what you're saying in your mind. When that snake crawls in, you're gonna be scared. You're gonna be oh. I had to give you a better one. I gave you a oh. That was half heart. I had to give you a oh, like a real, really scared. But the point is, feeling reigns supreme. Your heart determines your reality. Which is why, and even you look at you think about the Egyptian or ancient Kemetic scene of judgment where they weigh the heart against the feather. Because the heart has to be pure. The heart has to be not weighed down by fear or guilt or doubt. It has to be in its all-knowing, all-loving state, and then it's light as a feather. Then you pass on. Then you pass the test. All right. So with that being said, feeling reigns supreme. Yes, it does. But the mental part is important because the mental part orchestrates and lays the template and lays the direction for where the power goes. So they work in concert. I shouldn't say they work in concert, but the feeling, people overlook the feeling is what I'm really getting at, and that you don't want to do that in your meditations because you're missing out on one of your biggest strengths when it comes to meditating and generating a very powerful meditation and generating a powerful manifestation can be done through the feeling. So I don't want you to have one of your biggest weapons sitting on the sideline while you're trying to manifest something.